Welcome to Splorin with us with Ed and Cheryl.
This week we planned separate adventures because married people don't have to do everything together. What are you doing?
I'm looking at your new attire you have on today.
Well, actually, this was part of my adventure. So this weekend was supposed to be, well, it was the 30th class reunion for my college class, Wesleyan class of 1993. So I was supposed to be in Macon for that, but I've got just a ton of work right now, and so I couldn't manage to get away. But all of my classmates for the big annual meeting of the Alumni Association agreed to wear red hats or fascinators. So I put my hat on and I changed my profile picture so I could be there with them in spirit and followed along with the photographs.
And you being a royal blogger, that goes well with, you know.
I did already have a red hat. I didn't have to get a new one.
She didn't have to run out.
Yeah, when I changed my profile picture, people asked, "Oh, are you getting ready for the coronation?" But of course, my classmates knew what it was for. So we're really proud to be alumni of Wesleyan College in Macon, Georgia. And next time, hopefully I'll get there because there was a lot of stuff that's been updated that I would have liked to have seen, but not this year. In the meantime, Ed took a little men's vacay in Atlanta with some friends. So what did y'all get up to? Yeah,
my good friend Scott, along with his friend Zach, they invited me to see an Atlanta Braves game versus the Houston Astros. And we got to go to the game, and it was a lot of fun. It was like perfect weather. It was probably like 69, 70 degrees.
Yeah, this is a good time to go, not in the heat of the summer.
Right. We haven't hit the brutal heat of the South or the humidity, so it was almost a perfect evening for baseball, and we had a fabulous time. And Scott couldn't be with us, so I have a little statement from him.
Because he loves sports.
He's our sports guy. Like, when we've done trivia before, he's been our sports guy, our go-to sports guy. Yeah, because
when we play without him, like every question that they ask about athletics, doesn't matter what the question is, our answer is
Joe Louis.
And one time, it was the answer. It's the only time we ever had a sports question right.
Now, we do know some other sports people, but generally speaking,
but I don't necessarily
our knowledge of sports is
their names
really low.
And what shoes they wear.
That's true. But anyways, I asked Scott, I was like, well, what were your general thoughts, feelings about the whole experience of going to the game? And I'm going to read it here, his comments. So Scott said, I'm trying to experience the games where I'm not too fixated on winning or losing. I, of course, love seeing the Braves play and win, but I'm appreciating being able to see the great players on other teams. The Astros are the defending champs, and the Braves won it all the year before, so it was a cool matchup to witness. Even if it didn't go our way, it was still awesome to see Alvarez, the most clutch hitter in all of baseball, hit a clutch-winning home run in the ninth. It definitely wasn't. And one thing...
So he hit a home run in the ninth and
the Astros...
Alvarez, so he's with the Astros, not with the... See, I don't know this stuff.
And
so they won a key...
They won the game, yes.
Because of that home run. I mean, that's always exciting. When it comes down to the end, that is exciting.
I want to say the first inning ended with Braves winning 4-1. Yeah. And by the time we kind of got to our seats, they had really already scored. And then later on,
Astros
those three
came
runs
shooting out.
Came shooting back. And and Houston, we have a problem, but actually it was Atlanta, we have a problem. And it was a bummer that the Braves lost. And I've been to many sporting events before, but it was still an enjoyable time with Scott and Zach. We had a great time, and I hope we get to do it again sometime soon.
Yeah, we are planning another trip to the Braves later this summer, so hopefully nothing will come up or I won't get the dates wrong like I did last week with the local team here in Augusta.
Yeah.
So.
And I want to say, and I have to kind of look at the little map, because I got my little, oops, there's the camera, my little game day booklet. I'm a sucker for any time somebody hands you something.
To bring stuff home.
And so I want to say that we were we were in the upper deck. We were between like third base and field kind of. So you'll see by the pictures. This is why you want to subscribe to our Geek Homeworld, not Splorin with us, but Geek Homeworld YouTube channel, where you'll see the video portion of this if you're listening on podcast. If you go to YouTube and subscribe there and watch the video version of this, you'll see a wonderful slideshow of pictures I got from the game.
You can also see some of the photos because we share those on our Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. All of those are Splorin with us.
Yes.
And also on the blogger page,
and
Splorin with us.
Something we actually did do together. We went to go eat.
Oh yeah.
And one of our new favorite places to eat, which we mentioned.
Yeah, Red Robin. Yeah. So we've been places, lived places where they had Red Robin commercials.
Right.
Yum. But
Red
this is
Robin.
the first place we've lived where they had an actual Red Robin restaurant. So we checked it out. And so we went back after Ed got back and
we got to go and
had some burgers,
which are really good.
I mean, I've only ever gotten one burger there actually, which is what they call the something double, red double. It's a classic burger.
Red double or something. Maybe.
It reminds me of, so for those of you.
Let us know in the comments.
Right. So for those of you who are out like in the western United States, reminds me of a Bob's Big Boy. Or if you're in the South, if you remember the Shoney burger. I think there's still some Shoney's. Maybe there are still some Big Boys around, but or Bob's around. So it kind of reminds me of that sandwich.
Yeah.
And I like it. And then we always get.
I love the sauce. What's the sauce that comes? We get it with onion rings or with the fries.
I don't remember what they call it. It's so good though. It's red.
Really good.
It's like red tornado or red. It's like
something.
red natural disaster sauce.
Don't quote us on that.
I can't remember what it's called, but we love it. It's like barbecue something. It's really good.
It's very good.
And they have the bottomless sides. So one of us will get, my hat is falling down too hard.
Sorry.
One of us will get
Sorry, Your Majesty.
fries. Thank you. And then like the other will get onion rings because you can get refills on the fries for free. Onion rings you have to pay to refill, but so we just we'll get that. And they have really good ranch, and I like to dip my fries in that sometimes, or in that red whatever sauce that they call it. Red.
So we there was a trip. Yeah,
Tremater. I don't know.
But
red something.
We like Red Robin.
Not Red Robin
really
sauce, but something really good. And they're usually pretty good staff, and they've been really nice to us. So that was as much adventure as I get this weekend.
Yeah.
And, so this week, our discussion question is going to focus back on professional athletics, since you did that for your
excursion.
Yes, excursion. So knowing that we don't necessarily follow sports or know a whole lot about them, why do you like going to games?
Well, if it's a baseball game, I have to get a hot dog there. It's like we were looking at the lines and what are we going to eat?
Same thing, we get an oil change. Our place offers hot dog. He just has to have a hot dog if there's anywhere near.
We used to go to this dealership, and they had like hot dogs and popcorn and everything.
Stadium seating.
I loved it.
I'd like to hang out there.
So take my car in for no reason. But I love the atmosphere of it. But of course, I like the game. I'm not a massive baseball fan. My brother could give you stats and everything because he's a pretty big Braves fan as well. But any kind of sports, I just like going. I like the atmosphere. I like the.
It's kind of nice being in a crowd, especially if your team is winning. Usually, I often will root for whoever the underdog is. So that doesn't always make whatever friends we've gone with
sometimes,
happy.
Unfortunately, being a fan of Georgia sports, football, baseball.
It just depends. Sometimes they're national champions.
You find yourself being the underdog.
Yeah.
That's what we're worried about with the Braves, and it actually came to be was, being up 4-1,
Oh, this time, yeah.
Usually.
Well, but I still remember the names of a lot of the players from the 90s when they were winning championships, right? So I remember Greg Maddux, and now I can't remember anybody else's name, but
Dale Murphy, people like that. I don't know.
Dale Murphy? Is he a baseball player?
Was.
That's not a car driver?
No, that's not.
I don't know. I can tell you what shoes
that was Dale Earnhardt.
Oh, Dale somebody.
And Dale Earnhardt Jr. But that's from our NASCAR fans there. But anyway, so yeah, I like I guess it's the atmosphere. It's the fun of going out. It's the fun of being with a lot of people that are kind of cheering on the home team or whatever team you're
engaged in the same thing.
Yeah. I was amazed. I was amazed how many people I heard cheering for Houston in this game. So
Atlanta's a big city. They probably have a good core group of sports fans from almost every team.
Beautiful stadium and all that. So I got to ask you, Cheryl, what was your most memorable sports event that you attended? Since we're talking about sports.
Well, as I mentioned, I've been to Braves games. I've actually been to professional hockey and soccer. I don't know anything about those either. I haven't been to an NFL game, so I guess that's got to put that on the bucket list to get to an NFL game. But I don't even know. Okay, so I'm thinking of a time when I was a child, and I'm not sure if this counts as athletics or entertainment because it was the Harlem Globetrotters, and so I guess it's a little of both. Probably, for those of you who know about Savannah Bananas now, it's that same kind of.
They're playing
like and they're good players.
They do their banana ball,
but they are like it's a party where there's a game going on. So that's kind of Harlem Globetrotters.
They kind of switched it up.
But the reason that was so memorable, not just because it was so entertaining, and I think at that time they had a cartoon on with the Harlem Globetrotters on Saturday mornings.
There was a Harlem Globetrotters.
So we wanted to go, my sister and I. But here's what happened: we went outside, and my sister had this little basketball. So she was probably, I don't know, 5 or 6, and curly blonde hair, too adorable. And somebody, just as the players were coming out to get on their bus, somebody knocked her over.
Oh dear.
Yeah, and so one of the players saw it, and so the player picked her up and took her and my mom. That sounds like a commercial. I know. Took her and mom onto the bus. And so Dad and I are left out there, and I got nothing. Nothing. And my sister...
Except this hat.
That had nothing to do with it.
No, the hat had nothing.
My sister, had that little basketball that has all of the Harlem Globetrotters signatures on it. So
I might be worth something. Does she still have that?
I don't know. Either she or mother has it, I think.
I'm sure she kept it.
But yeah, so what I remember is being left out to nothing. I didn't even have a little basketball, much less one that was signed. So how come nobody ever knocks me over at the right time?
That's funny.
So anyway, this week's challenge, as I mentioned, I have a lot of work stuff. I'm going to a big conference, and then I'm coming back and participating in a program here in Augusta that my boss signed me up for, and Ed's actually going to get to do that with me, where we're going to learn a lot about Augusta in just 2.5 days. So what I'm going to challenge you to do is find out more about your local history or local culture. You can sign up. Sometimes there are programs that offer free classes that will take you on that. Or if there are tours, if you've lived in a place a long time, you may not have ever done any of their tours.
We came from Savannah, or at least I did originally, and it's nice to be a tourist in your own city. So,
do that, or, look up on your state's historical website and find out where all the history markers are.
Yep.
And go look at those history markers. Learn something about where you're from that you didn't know already.
And it's still Not Forest Week.
It's still National Parks Week.
Yeah.
Officially, it started on Saturday the 22nd. And so we actually, it was kind of funny. We did try late last night to watch Cocaine Bear.
Yeah.
And
I was tired from my trip, but
yeah, he fell asleep, but I was like, I'm not going to keep watching this.
I'm going to finish it, though. I'm probably going to finish it.
I'm not going to finish it. But it was set in the Chattahoochee National Forest, part of which is actually
and the actual
here in Georgia.
Really happened.
And so Ed saw the sign. He's like, "Oh, we've been there." I'm like, "Well, I don't think we've been to that location, but we've been through the Chattahoochee."
I've seen a similar sign.
So still going to encourage you, really explore. And I know there are a lot of national parks in other countries as well. They may be called by different kinds of names, but get out there and explore the natural environment, the historical environment where you are.
And one thing I want to say before we go is we got 2 more subscribers to our Geek Homeworld YouTube channel. I know it's only 35, and that's a little bit.
No, it's great.
But that's where, if you want to watch the videos, people have been asking. That's where
you all. Tip of the hat.
YouTube. Yeah. I'll tip my Star Wars hat.
Now I can't see. Oh. Actually, I still can because you can see through this.
But anyway, I want to thank our new subscribers. So everybody, check us out on our social media.
Followers on the social media.
Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. Like, subscribe. Yeah, blogger for the blog.
You can see more of the photos. If you're not watching on YouTube, you can see the photos.
YouTube, we're on Geek Homeworld, and the audio podcast, wherever you get your podcast, it's also under Geek Homeworld's feed. So
until next time, remember, find joy in the journey.
And thank you for exploring with us. Bye.